welcome all of you. Thank you so much for being a part of the special ZEE5 podcast for the launch of the new Zindagi original Churails. We really appreciate it. With us, we have the 4 badass women who are playing the actual Churails. And I'm joining the Churail tribe, so I'm super excited. And the man behind all of this, Asim. So thank you, Sarwat. Thank you, Yasra. Thank you, Nimra. And thank you, Mehar, for being a part of this.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. I'm going to start with Asim. Asim, the word Churails in itself, the second you say, there's automatic curiosity ki chal kya raha hai? For starters, I want to know how you thought of conceptualizing something which could have been titled Churail, and then we'll delve into how you thought of the script.
Okay. To be honest, I don't remember the moment that I thought of. I really don't. I do remember that the first when I pitched this idea to ZEE5, it was called Halal Designs. So I do remember that the first time I wrote to Shilja, the title of the thing was Halal Designs. But I think it morphed into, because I knew that Halal Designs would not survive forever, I guess, and that these women would, become something more than that and bigger than that. But I couldn't tell you when it started, but why. It's obviously we were trying to take a word with a lot of negative connotations and give it a positive spin. We were trying to take ownership, to subvert a trope that has been used to put women down, and say we're going to take this and we're going to, like I've said before, wear it as a badge of honor and be proud of everything that Churail represents.
And I feel like that's culminating.
Yes.
Because even on social, I'll ask the ladies after this, even on social, there's this huge outpour of somehow making it the Churail tribe, which until this show was launched wasn't exactly a positive, space. Yeah. And, here we are just sort of defying, all of the stereotypes courtesy of the word.
Yeah, we're trying. I hope it has a longer effect. And perhaps it does, because the thing is, that's the beauty of web series, right? It's not, no one's focused on just the first day of release. It's something that's just started and it's going to carry on, and people will be watching it, and more and more women hopefully will be joining the Churail tribe.
Yeah, I just feel like it's just the beginning of a much longer process, rightfully, like you said. Within the first day of the launch, the reviews are phenomenal, really. So congratulations, Asim. We've been reading, reviews, friends about it and talking about it. So well done. So I'll start with Nimra. What were you thinking when it came to you, and you sort of read the name, and you're just like, and then finally you actually go for the role that you're doing. Like, Batu's a very, very strong role.
Well, once I think the only hesitation I had was just very, very initial when I went to meet Asim. It was like, I was just skeptical. I was like, what could possibly be coming that could tempt me?
What could he possibly want from me?
Huh?
What could he possibly want from me?
Yeah,
what can he offer me that I don't already have?
What can a picture of cake offer me that I haven't had before? So we got talking, and I was very excited when Asim told me what this was going to be about. I will remind Asim that I think at that time you mentioned that the name was going to be Churails, and I was so excited. I said, "Is that going to be the final name?" And you said, "Well, at the moment it's Churails," and trying to kind of how do you say, play it down. But then when I went home and I thought about it, and I thought, oh wow, how nice would it be if it was actually called. Never actually after that had any doubts about after that first meeting and reading the pilot. I never had any doubts that I want to do it. I just hoped and prayed that they'd still want me, and that this would be out. So that's what happened.
Excellent. Sarwat, coming to you, just in general, I feel like, your role is that of the perfect mother, the perfect wife, at least in the beginning. And it doesn't take you too long to sort of completely break away from trying so hard to be perfect. Was that switch a lot of work for you? Because there is this very subdued anger, that you can already see from the first time she throws a stapler in the principal's hand. Yeah. So how did the working happen for you? Like, what was the transition like?
So I guess for Sarah, she may not seem very strong as a very strong characteristic coming from her, but at the same time, I felt like she had a lot of layers, and those layers were of conflict, of determination, of frustration, of wanting to prove herself to herself and then the world out there. And it took me a while because I felt she was the most complex character out of all of these, and she was taking the story forward, but at the same time you see a lot of faults in her. She has the leadership quality, yet she loses that confidence once something big happens. The burning, the halal design burning happens, and so but at the same time she's so real. I felt like at the same time, she's trying to save her husband. She's played that card in her life where she's helped her husband escape a bad time in his life where things could really go wrong because he was having an affair. But at the same time, later she's fighting against those same women, and she's wanting women to change and not do that. So there's a lot of conflict that happened, I think, in Sarah's character. It was difficult for me, but I think once we started, because when we were rehearsing and when we were creating her character, there were still layers being added to it. But I think when I started doing my house stuff, like my family, my kids scenes with my husband, then I got a grip of who Sarah really is and what she wants. She has those flaws. She's today's real woman. She's real. She has flaws and she has qualities.
And you're best friends with Yasra in this, in this entire dynamic with Jugnu, which is her character. And it's just even with so obviously, you're a working woman who's seen the ups and the downs of life. Again, you hold a lot of aggression within yourself, Yasra, in the show. And then it's not like you had a really big motive, sort of join the Churail tribe, but yet somehow you imbibe yourself into it and go with it head first. So what was it like for you when you read the script and you thought of Churails as it was?
You see, I don't like doing boring things and boring people and boring situations. I just don't want to be bored anymore, like even for a minute in my life. And when I read the script, it was very interesting. So for a change, there was something interesting. I just didn't know what is going to follow, but on paper, the script was just really interesting and intriguing. And I've said this many times, and I'm going to say it again, that it's the page turner quality of the script on the paper that
reflects very directly even in the episodes. It's impossible to stop watching once you've seen.
There you go. See, it was just not boring. So I said, yes, let's do this.
So Mehar, I'm going to come to you now. I was reading a post where you actually punched somebody previously. So my question of have you ever hit someone became moot. So, just as your character of being a boxer, does it seem like a lot of work went into it, or you were ready for it? You're just like, I know this, I've done this before, I've hit a boy before, I just have to make it look more athletic and more sport oriented.
So I have hit men before, but that's not to say that I am completely that person that Zubeda was. Zubeda is definitely a lot more ballsy than I am, but I think after having done her, I've become a lot more ballsy. I'm just I've been a non-confrontational person all my life. Of course, I do have fits of rage, which I think I was really able to translate into Zubeda easily. But with the kind of resolve that Zubeda has and the kind of mindset she has, she's very she takes definitive action as soon as someone wrongs her. As soon as something happens that does not sit well with her, she just goes in for it. I think that I before this I did allow myself a lot of time to think before making definitive action. But I did think I was the correct choice for Zubaida from the word go. I did believe that this was the character that I was meant to do. And I even, before... I'm sorry.
I was going to say, did you accidentally really punch someone on the set? Like, did someone actually get hurt? Because that would be really funny.
I got hurt. I got hurt a lot. I think with all my fight scenes and choreographing for them, prepping for them, I think because I was doing my own stunts, I had to get hit a lot, especially because I was practicing with a lot of actual boxers. I really wanted to get into the whole grind and I wanted to be authentic, so I started training with actual boxers, and they don't know how to act. So if they would punch me, I would really get hurt. But if I would punch them, they obviously wouldn't get hurt because I'm just an actor. So I think.
What was it like on the set? Like, this is one of the incidents, where she's actually getting hurt because it's part of her character. But what was it like on set when you actually had to do the detective bit? What was it, like, Asim, even for you, with all of these women sort of ganging up?
It was great fun, I guess, for them.
Why can't I see him while he says this? Why can't I see him? What are you saying?
Why do you want to? It's fine. Just tell us. Give us the scoop.
No, they were all great. They were all great. Yeah, they were all...
There's so much anger / sarcasm in Yasra's look right now. So it's like, really, were we good?
That's her
so
anger.
Fun about
sarcasm.
her anger now. I don't know her. Who's she?
मैं तो मुस्कुरा रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरा तो बहुत अच्छा रिलेशनशिप था सबके साथ, and they were listening to me. Yeah. Oh, very happy.
Yeah, this is for you. What's he like as a director? Like what is the? Is he very strict? Is he very like you have to do it a certain way? Is he an actor's director? How is he?
बहुत अच्छे हैं, बहुत अच्छे director हैं. He's very nice, very calm, very kind.
Anyone else?
And I feel that Asim had so much pressure on him from so many these women around him, and then the schedule, and then all these other things. I mean, as a director, writer, co-producer, creative producer, he had that. But I can vouch for this, that he had a smile on his face throughout. He would be directing us, or he would start off with a positive note, and he was very precise about what he wanted, and what he wanted from us, out of us, and he was very particular, and he knew exactly what he wanted. So he would give us the freedom, but where it wasn't required, he'd be very sharp and say, like, this is not how I think it should be. But yeah, there were times where we would get into a creative dialogue, and it was great. He's great.
How politically like creative dialogue. That's it.
Because that's how he is. The kind of insight that Asim is giving in all these amazing lives and stories. He himself is not very open like a book. He's a very closed person. So you don't get to like sort of poke inside and see what's inside him, right?
हम बस सब खोल दें. हम सब खोलते हैं, लेकिन हमारा
It's a Pandora box that we'll open in the next season, inshallah.
The only thing I can add to it is that so while we're on rehearsal and everything, we can talk about a lot of stuff, and we used to have a lot of discussions during rehearsal, before rehearsal. But when we were on set, I thought that Asim was quite opaque about what was going on. I felt like we never knew what he was actually thinking, or feeling about how something was working out. So in a way that's good, because then you're not seeing the panic that he's feeling, but you also don't know whether it's done, whether it's something that is an okay shot, or if it's if he's okay with it or not. The shoot was over. We heard a lot from him, and he talked about what it looked. But before that, I did, and also because I don't know very much how these things work, so sometimes I feel it's like, okay, will we need to do that again some other day? Is this done? Is it over? Yeah, that.